Now, having played 2 playoff games inside Chase Center, how would you describe the advantage this team has playing in front of that home crowd?
Yeah, the crowd's been great. Energy's been fantastic. I think the players have really executed well these first 2 games. Followed the game plan, stayed solid. 9 turnovers tonight. 27 assists. And the crowd feels it. The crowd feels it when we're playing well, and we feed off of each other at that point.
So how would you describe watching Jordan? And we've talked about how he's a bright lights player, but this might that have been his best game? Was that some of the best stuff you've seen from him tonight?
Yeah. I mean, especially under the circumstances, given that this is a playoff game, and the importance of the game, for him to follow up that game 1 where he was great with another game like this. Some of the flurries out there from him tonight reminded me of his teammate who came off the bench a little bit. It's pretty remarkable to see the similarities now that with both the on and off ball stuff. I mean, Jordan has had a pretty good apprenticeship with learning from Steph, and but he was fantastic tonight.
Steve, how much does it help the offense to have 2 guys who can start at the perimeter and get to the inside the paint with their penetration, with their dribbling?
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. And we've been hoping to get to this point all year where we could get our whole group together just to see what that would look like. And I'm talking about with Draymond, with Clay, Steph, and Jordan. Wiggs has been a great part of that unit too. These first 2 games, closing the first half, another 8 rebounds for Wiggs tonight. I mentioned before the game, that's the biggest concern when we play that small unit is the glass. And I thought Wiggs did a really good job. Draymond, I don't know what to say about him. I mean, you just don't look at the stat sheet because it doesn't mean anything. Draymond dominated that game. And he was dominating throughout the first half, and late in the half, I got a stat sheet. I looked down, he had 1 point, 3 rebounds. He was dominating. So this guy is just one of the most unique and powerful and impactful players I've ever seen.
You mentioned, you mentioned waiting to see that lineup, and particularly with that 3-guard lineup of Steph, Clay, and Jordan. We've been talking about that for a long time. When you first kind of sat down and with your staff and said, yeah, we're going to do a 3-guard lineup, is that what you envisioned it looking like, or is it more than what you thought?
Well, we envisioned, we've sort of played this way for many years, with Draymond at 5, and we've had a few different variations of that unit, obviously with Kevin Durant, and before that, Harrison Barnes, and Andre Iguodala was always part of that group. So, Clay, Steph, and Draymond are incredibly comfortable playing this style. It's the same style. It's just different additions with this squad. So, I never envisioned Jordan playing this well. At the beginning of this season, even though he had a great season a year ago, I couldn't envision this, but he's earned it. This guy puts the work in every single day in the gym and believes in himself, and he's got a lot of skill.
You got 23 minutes out of your 6th man. What do you think of the way he played?
It didn't surprise me that because we've been watching this for a long time with Steph. So you never really are surprised when he has an outburst like that. It's great to see. Obviously, just coming back and being on a minutes restriction. The other night he had to kind of get his feet wet. But you could see as the game went on, game 1, I'm talking about, he got more and more comfortable, and you could see tonight he was ready to break out.
Going back to Draymond's What do you think about his defense specifically on Jokic? Because Draymond said he sort of expected a counterpunch, Jokic 40, 15, 15, but Draymond played a role again in frustrating Jokic.
Yeah, I mean, Jokic is amazing, and we have to throw everything at him to try to limit him. And that's, I thought Loon did a great job early on. He picked up a couple early fouls, but was battling him. And then Draymond took his turn. Belly had a few possessions on him. So I think, all we're trying to do is defend him without fouling and crowd him and try to put as much pressure on him as possible, because he's just a brilliant player. He's so skilled that you can't just sit back and let him pick you apart.
Speaking of Jokic, the Peyton block came pretty early on when Jokic was going pretty good. It seemed to frustrate Jokic, or maybe something Peyton said to him frustrated him, but it seemed like Jokic, he got thrown out of the game too. Not that you're trying to irritate him, but did you? And was Peyton a big part of that?
Well, Gary's a fantastic defender. I thought he played really well tonight. A lot of ball pressure. He blocked a couple shots. He's in the fray all the time. He's so athletic that he's out there getting deflections, getting steals. It's he makes a real impact on the game. He's done that all year. So whatever we can do to try to deal with Jokic, we have to try to do. But we've done a decent job here the first two games, but now we've got to go on the road, and we know how good he is, and what's waiting for us in Denver in terms of the energy and the crowd and all of that. So got a lot of work ahead.
You mentioned Wiggins' importance, defensively in that unit, particularly on the glass. How about offensively? He's kind of is the fifth of the players, probably usually stationary in the corner, but how important is it to hit threes, but also slash when they kind of ignore him? Yeah, I mean, he's a really complimentary part of that group. He made a couple of threes early when we were struggling, which was important. And then if you think about that unit with Jordan, Steph, Clay, I mean, they draw so much attention that Andrew's going to get some hoops, some space to drive. And you saw it in game one. Not as much tonight because the guys were making shots. They were letting it fly before Wiggs even touched the ball. But I think he understands that it's a great spot for him. He's played a huge role for us all year at both ends, and he's a plus 24 tonight. He's doing his job, and I think he's really enjoying it too.
Steve, 10 steals accounted for 18 of the turnovers that you guys forced, and you capitalized with 25 points. I mean, what does that say about just every guy in every position, doing the work? Just felt like we were getting a lot of deflections out there. We were really active. We were just trying to speed the game up. But not turn the ball over as well. And I liked that balance, that we were able to speed the game up with our defense, but then make pretty good decisions offensively and take care of the ball, not let them get out in transition too much.
Hey, Steve, given who Steph is and what he means to the team, was there much of like a sales pitch to embrace this role off the bench, or has he been just rolling with the punches? How did you characterize it? Steph is Steph. You don't need to sell him on anything. He's very unique. He's incredibly humble and incredibly arrogant on the floor. Humble off the floor, arrogant on the floor. It's a great combination. And anything that is going to help the team, he's all for. We always collaborate. We talk about everything, and it's just very matter of fact with Steph. There's never any ego that gets in the way. Greg Popovich likes to talk about, the importance of getting over yourself. If you want to be on a great team, you want to be part of something special. And, Steph, it's just the way he was raised. He didn't even have to get over himself. He was already over himself when he arrived in the NBA. And he's maintained that humility despite this incredible stardom and incredible success he's had. And it's what makes him such
powerful teammate.
Obvious answer, but just for the record, will Steph definitely be starting very soon?
We'll see.
Okay, follow up. Is Jordan Poole going to take technical free throws from now on?
They have to hash that out. Yeah, I don't make that decision.
Hey, Jordan, tell him what I told you. You remember?
Yeah, he said 90 seconds.
Jordan, Draymond told us that you've been watching Steph a lot and doing your best impression. And I know you're your own man, but when you have one of the greatest shooters of all time alongside you, what are some things that you've observed from Steph that you want to fold into your game?
Just the ways that he gets his looks throughout our offense. Sometimes individually, I mean, he's really good at creating space and dominating mismatches and his off-ball movement. So I'm really lucky just to be able to watch him every single day and watch him in film and kind of add those aspects in my game.
Are there ways that you and Steph are different?
I mean, I'm sure some things in there probably for sure.
Jordan, what is it you like about when you watch Steph's game? What is it you like about how he manages his way to the basket? We know he can shoot, but I'm talking about his dribble penetration. What do you like about it? What impresses you about it?
He knows that defenders have to respect his shot, his jump shot. He does a really good job at changing paces and going from high to low and the way that he moves in his level. So just kind of manipulating the defense to kind of get to his spots is something that I try to add to my game.
Do the coaches like show you Steph film, or is that just kind of something you started seeking out on your own, like just studying him on your own?
Personally.
And, coming out of college, you were billed as a catch and shoot guy, but obviously it's clear you're a lot more than that. Have all these other aspects of your game always been there, and you just weren't basically able to show it at Michigan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jordan, why'd you do that to DeMarcus Cousins?
I just tried to get a look. Gotta create a little bit of space. I feel like I had to go in a little bit. I was just able to hit a shot that I practice pretty often.
You and Steph kind of gave him the business tonight. You guys combined for 63 points. But what's it like knowing that the both of you are out there and able to work your magic together at the same time?
I think it's really hard for the defense. Just because we are both playmakers, we can both play on the ball and we also can both play off the ball. And being able to have teammates who are able to screen on the backside and also slip and get their own shots makes it a lot harder for them just to defend, because we got the freedom and the offense to kind of just move around where we see fit. So just kind of trying to put the defense in a lot of tough situations to make a lot of different decisions.
Jordan, Draymond said he reads body language and frustration, and if he feels he's getting under somebody's skin, he presses a little more, and if he doesn't feel he's getting under somebody's skin, he presses a little more. I mean, just what can you say about learning from the way he goes about his business out there?
I mean, obviously he was a huge part of our game tonight. He was able to take did an amazing job on Jokic, and just being able to have that line of defense back there is outstanding. His energy, we feed off of that, offensively, defensively, and he doesn't only pick us up, but he picks the crowd up as well. And when you can get it extremely loud, it becomes hard for other teams to have play calls, and just the energy that he plays with. I mean, we wouldn't be here without him.
Jordan, you get fouled on a three-pointer to start the third quarter, and you knock it down, you're on the ground shooting off finger lasers or whatever. Describe what the energy was like, for you in that moment in the building.
It was huge. Just try to get a run going as soon as we can. Just continuing to be aggressive and having the freedom of will just to play our game, and put the defense in a lot of tough decisions. And we have guys who are just amazing playmakers, team players, and being able to swing the ball how we do and get the open looks that we do is definitely beneficial for us.
Jordan, what was your reaction of not being named among the finalists for MIP despite your growth this season?
I mean, we had a game today, so I really was focusing on the scouting report, to be honest. I didn't have one. There wasn't one. There wasn't nothing to react to.
What does that energy inside Chase Center like do for you personally as a player?
I've always fed off of the energy, especially the home crowd. Trying to get everybody in the arena to stand up, get on their feet, scream as loud as they can, because I don't think they understand how much that helps us, offensively, defensively, and it really gets us going. And I think, Steph, Clay, and these guys feed off of that energy so much. You see one go in, it could be a long day. So I think that's why home court advantage is such a big deal, and we just got to find a way to take care of it on the road.